My name is Mark Saltveit. I edit the Palindromist magazine and write palindromes. So a dictionary definition would be that a palindrome is a word or sentence that reads the same backwards as forwards, letter by letter. A lot of people don't even know what palindromes are. They'll just know race car or boob. A lot of people don't realize they could write one themselves. And that's a lot of what the Palindromist was about. The slogan is a magazine for people who write and read palindromes. And we started out from the beginning, here's how to write them, here's how you can do it. This magazine has given me it's given me a focus, something to really pour my energy into. You know, I think it's Blake said to discover the world in a grain of sand. And so palindromes are my grain of sand. And so I have become the world's greatest expert on palindromes, mostly by default because no one else has tried. But I've worked really hard at it. You know what I'm most famous for in the world? Is writing palindromes. And this just confuses people, especially when I use it to try to impress women. So I explain, you know, palindromes, words that are the same backwards and forwards. And she's like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like a lot of kids in the 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, I learned about palindromes in school and got really excited, and my brothers and I tried to write our own palindromes. One day we thought we had hit the jackpot and we're like gonna be the most famous 9-year-old kids in history because we wrote a dirty palindrome, which was eat, poop, tea. And we were like so proud of ourselves. And then one of us looked at it and it doesn't actually work. It's A-E-T. T-E-A. So it'd be ate poop tea or eat poop tay. And we were crushed. And so basically, being a bored little kid, I gave up on it for about 20 years. It does become kind of a sickness though, you know, at a certain point, like I couldn't read a sign on a bus without reading it backwards first. Then, you know, you can miss your stop if you forget to read it forwards also. Here's the dowels on the sign again. And how can anybody read the dowels and not see sell ad, eh?
But I want to introduce the gentleman here in a moment who's going to help us celebrate kind of the wild cousin of tongue twisters, palindromes. His name is Mark Saltveit. He's from Portland.
Now Kirby, as we know, works for a newspaper and they're dependent on selling ads. So this palindrome tells me, Kirby, that you should maybe try to sell your ads down the road a little bit. This is what it says. Sell ad, eh? To the dowels. Thank you. Will Shortz just loves competitions. He's been doing palindrome competitions since 1991 when he was editor at Games magazine. The category that I won with was it had to have an X and a Z in the palindrome. I started off looking through my dictionary, as I do, of things I've accumulated over the years. And with Z, I had a great start, which is the word, or the phrase, trapeze part. So I look at my dictionary and I have another one, which is fixes reverses to sex if. So fixes trapeze part, that makes sense, right? Somebody had to repair something due to a bedroom disaster. Fixes trapeze part, sex if. You need a subject here. I find the name K, which reverses to yak. So now we're close. So you can tell this is a classic in the making, but the seconds are ticking down. Everyone else is furiously scribbling. And finally, I know that sex if yak, I need a verb here. So I go, what are the verbs? What are the verbs? And I came up with lived, and then devil K. She's already involved in some incident involving sex with a yak that got injured. So clearly devil is a pretty good word for her, and that's what I finished with. Devil K fixes trapeze part, sex if yak lived. I don't even want to try to fully imagine what this phrase is describing.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I won. It was an audience vote. Sexy act. Everybody's, obviously that was the one to go with. For me, being champion was nice because as editor of the magazine, I've always kind of low-keyed my own writing of palindromes, but it was kind of, frankly, nice to get a little recognition that, oh yeah, the guy can write them too. You don't put in the work to get to this level without wanting to be the best, and that's great. That's what makes for good palindromes.
You skimboard and you do palindromes? Let's talk about skimboarding and what do you find?
I have not managed to combine them. Kim skims. It shares the thing, you gotta look for what it gives you. In other words, there's gotta be just the right amount of water, just the amount of sand.
Good writing should be something you play with, and it should be fun to read because there's a sense of joy in the writing. And I think palindromes are a way to remind people of that. I'm always amazed how hard people work on crosswords. Oh, I did the Sunday New York Times crossword puzzle, which 1,000 other people did, and I'm solving a puzzle that everybody knows can look up the answer to. I put about the same amount of effort into writing a palindrome, but when I'm done, I've created an original work of art. That's my name, a unique, original. I've written something, and I'm kind of surprised more people don't do it.
So is the dictionary like a best friend or like a lover?
Well, I would say my wife is more like my lover, and the dictionary is more like a best friend. Hopefully we'll keep it that way.